Gold Squad TV. All right, man. There are a lot of people on both ends of the spectrum when it comes to Ime Udoka. Some people like Ime and his over reliance on a 9-man rotation and his lack of adjustments, and some people don't. I happen to fall in the category of like, I'm not feeling Ime Udoka. He comes from that Popovich tree, and I'm not saying he's a whack coach, but he's looking like Brent Brown right now. Now, Brent Brown was also a Popovich assistant. He's out the league. We all know what happened with Brent Brown in Philly. We all know Ime was his assistant his last year in Philly. He's looking eerily similar to Brent Brown right now. You know anything about Brent Brown? Brent Brown was the ultimate yes man. Now, Ime was a fiery player when he played, bench guy. But here's what people have to understand about my rants on Ime Udoka, right? My rants are strictly what I see. And what I see is a guy that doesn't make adjustments, a guy who has a reluctance to play the two young players who were playing hard for you a year ago. Well, not for him, but for Brad. I don't understand how a new coach could come in and wipe out Peyton Pritchard. And then, they're getting blamed for their lack of play. They're getting blamed for the Cleveland loss yesterday when it was clearly Tatum and clearly Marcus Smart who lost that, along with Ime Udoka's bad coaching, who lost that game. Now, I'm not here to act like I know what's going on in the locker room. I'm not here to act like I know how to coach a team better than Ime Udoka. I mean, obviously the dude's a professional, and I'm not. However, what I don't like is when Ime brings Jay Rich in, who is a nice player. I like Jay Rich in Miami and in Philly to an extent where he played under Ime as when Ime was the assistant. What I don't like is the fact that you bring a veteran in, or you bring veterans in, and they're taking minutes away from guys like Naismith and Pritchard, and you're sitting there telling them they got to earn it. I believe Peyton Pritchard earns his minutes and should not be getting 1 minute in a whole bunch of DMPs. And Naismith was supposed to have a jump this year, and you're not even playing him. When you do play him, like in the Orlando game and even the Miami game, he plays well. I'm not good with that. What I'm also not good with is people trying to give Ime a chance. This whole give Ime a chance bullshit needs to stop. If I slaughtered Brad Stevens for 6 years, 7 years about his coaching style, I'm going to slaughter Ime Udoka for the same thing. Coaches in the NBA, to me, with the exception of Greg Popovich, are disposable. The players are always more important than a coach to me. A coach could come in there with his own philosophy, and that's fine. But if it's not working, don't you think you need to make adjustments? And you're not making the adjustments, and you're not making the damn game easier for the players that you have on your roster. What exactly are you doing? You just drawing plays up and then standing there? I thought you were supposed to come in and hold people accountable. Instead, I feel like you're holding certain guys accountable, but not taking accountability on your own right as a coach. You know what I mean? Like Jason Tatum's been horrible this year. You ain't holding him accountable. At least not in public the way you did JB. And this, like I said, there's no reason Peyton Pritchard should be getting 1 minute or a whole bunch of DMPs. No way. No way. Especially when I know the man can shoot better than Marcus Smart. And I'll take his decent defense over Marcus Smart's great defense if I know Peyton Pritchard is going to put points on the board. And he's going to run the point in a really decent level. The guys like playing with him. You're not playing him. Naismith is always going to crash the boards. He's always going to go and hustle. Apparently, you think that shit's overrated, but yet you keep Marcus Smart in there, who literally gives you next to nothing outside of his hustle, quote unquote. Gives you next to nothing but just a lot of clinks. He'll get a couple assists here and there, then he'll complain. What'd he do? So, y'all trying to defend Ime Udoka? I don't want to hear it. I have a right. I have every bit of a right as a fan of this team and as somebody that's watched Celtics basketball for years to criticize this man for what he's not doing. You guys can sit there and say, I don't know shit and I don't know anything about what I'm talking about. Fine. You're entitled to your opinion, but I'm also entitled to mine. And this man, to me, is looking like a fucking career assistant right now. He does not know how to figure out a game plan effectively that's going to get everybody on that team. Your team goes 15 deep. Golden State goes 12 deep on their rotations. Why are you so hell bent on going 9 deep? Because if you're going 9 deep, you're basically saying I'm going to cut some guys off that normally would have minutes because I don't care. I just care about having a 9-man rotation. It boggles my mind how Enes Kanter is not getting any minutes. Now, I get it. He's not a great defender, but we're having rebounding problems, and yet this man is an offensive rebounding guru. You ever wonder about actually playing him? I'm saying. You guys love to play Grant Williams 1,000 times. Like, what's Grant been doing since week 1? He had a great week 1 of NBA basketball. He's been damn near non-existent ever since. Romeo's okay when he doesn't get hurt and the APV out for him. You know what I mean? And it's like, I never thought I'd see the day Romeo Langford would be getting more minutes than Peyton Pritchard. But it's happening for some strange reason. And I don't want to seem like I'm coming down on Jay Rich, but let's be honest, Jay Rich is what he is at this point. Naismith has a higher upside, and your job is to develop those guys. Now, if you're going to sit there and say that's not Ime's job, they don't have time to develop guys, what exactly do we have time for? Because last time I checked, we're not winning a title this year. I don't think the Celtics had expectations of winning a title. I thought maybe conference finals, maybe semifinals. Who? Making the playoffs. I never thought in a million years that we start going, well, we don't have time, the baby players mentality, when we're not going to win a title anytime soon within the next year or two. You know what I mean? It's not our time yet. So, what you think it would be smart to get these guys minutes? Now, I know Schroeder's balling out, but he's probably going to get traded at the deadline. And you know what? I'm cool with that. I don't hate Schroeder. I think he's good. But the better he plays, the better his trade value becomes. And now we could get pieces that can blend in and also allow those guys that are not playing to be able to get more minutes that they were robbed of. I'm not playing when it comes to this, man. Like, Ime Udoka is inexcusably bad right now. Could he prove me wrong? Maybe. Will he? I doubt it. If they start winning, it's going to be because JB's back in the lineup and everybody else is trying to come in the form. But I also think that they're going to have a ceiling to where they can't get past the ceiling because this dude doesn't seem to make adjustments in games. Much like his predecessor. And I'm not predecessor, but Brad wasn't great with adjustments either. He was still better. To me, I kind of feel like he's starting to look like he was a much better X and O coach than this guy. I thought Ime was going to be better than him, but it's kind of the opposite. I take Brad back in a heartbeat right now. As annoying as Brad was when his constant, come on guys, digging in a huddle, at least he wasn't afraid to take chances. I feel like Ime Udoka is too conservative. And when you have a coach that's too conservative, you're only going to reach a certain point. This is not the team that you got to be conservative with. You want to get everybody involved as much as possible. Steve Kerr is a great coach, and everybody sits there and says, well, anybody could coach a team with Steph Curry and those guys, but not everybody could do it. And you know why I say that? Steve Kerr knows how to play a 12-man rotation. He knows how to get guys. You got guys like Gary Payton II, who wouldn't catch burn anywhere and basically was released everywhere he went. And now he's looking like a really good role player. You had guys like Sean Livingston who looked like they were career dead to rights, and he ended up playing a big part in their championship runs. I can keep going on and on. You have to develop guys. You don't just develop your young guys, too. You develop guys who are journeymen and turn them into really great players as you have a system that's effective. The Celtics don't have an identity right now. And JB gets unfairly blamed for it when it's really more the other guy, which is, I think people are starting to get around to the fact that Jason Tatum ain't as good as he thinks he is. But I'll digress. I'm not letting off Ime Udoka. I don't care what any of you motherfuckers tell me. I'm going to be hard on his ass. I'm going to critique his coaching. I'm going to critique what I see. Don't care if you guys don't like it. I'm going to hold him to the same standard, if not higher, that I held Brad Stevens. If he's supposed to be better than Brad Stevens, I want to see it. And I was never the biggest Brad Stevens guy. But right now, like I said, if this continues to go at the rate it's going, I would take Brad back in a heartbeat. Now, Brad probably not going to come back to coach his team. He's probably going to give Ime every opportunity to be successful. But Ime's better learn to start having patience in developing players. Because this is what this league's about. It's about depth in developing a bench. Developing a bench. And depth matters. You want to make sure everybody's encouraged to believe that they can play on that court. And when you're discouraging them and telling them, basically putting them on a bench and then bringing them in, like to make them try to quote unquote earn minutes when they already earned it, you're sending a really bad message in that locker room. You're sending a bad message. You look around the league, there's more Steve Kerr type of coaches out there than there are Ime Udokas. You would think this guy comes from the Popovich tree, and Pop was all about pulling a guy out of nowhere off the bench that was a rookie that nobody even, it was an undrafted guy, and he go in there and ball out. A lot of those championship runs had guys who were free agents that nobody cared for, played for Pop, end up being great. You know, I get Ime's trying to make his own identity, but like I said, he's looking more and more like Brent Brown right now. It's very questionable. So I'm going to hold him accountable. This is what this video is about. You ain't got to like it, but I'm holding this dude accountable. I don't really give two rats' asses what people think. I'm not in this give this guy a chance bullshit. He's a professional. You hold people accountable. He's a coach. He's supposed to know what to do in these situations. I don't care if he's, first-time head coach. You're an assistant under great masters. You mean to tell me you ain't learned nothing? Gold Squad TV. Leave a like, subscribe, comment. Let me know if you think this dude is dumpster juice right now so far in the season. Gold Squad TV.